Welcome back.
Hey.
To another episode of Mikes and the Mics.
Episode 31, right?
31. Yep. I know it's been a few weeks, but we're back.
It looks a little different behind us.
Yeah, we're
back on the road today.
Yeah, we're on the road. We're usually at his place. Now we're at my place. Actually, that's where we used to do it before we got video and stuff like that. So we're I guess we're kind of back to
back to where we started.
But you can see us this time. But yeah, we're here. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got a good show. Pistons, Lions, Tigers.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
I think
a couple
so.
weeks. It's all good though.
Yeah.
How's your week been before we get into it?
It's been good. It's been a busy one.
Yeah.
Been a busy one. My wife's in Florida. I hope she's having fun.
Damn you, Megan.
Yeah. So, it's funny when she gets back, I'm picking her up from the airport. I might just have to Uber her back and then stay at the airport and
I need the next flight out of here.
Where do you want to go? I don't care. Nebraska? It's been good. Today was I'll admit today was a bit of a struggle just because of the there was just a lot going on, but everything's fine. Like you have those moments when you get tired, you have your little meltdowns.
Yeah.
Like a child. And then afterwards you're like, oh man, it's like just man up. Like you're fine. Like everything is fine.
Everything's gonna be
I literally was having like a bit of a temper tantrum earlier. And then I had to text her back. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I'm a jerk. You're not a jerk, just a baby.
Just a baby. I mean, yeah, it's all right. I'm sure she forgives you.
Yes.
I mean, she's sitting on a beach somewhere right now in 90-degree weather. She can't be that mad.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bless her heart. So anyways,
we love you, Megan.
How's your week been?
It's been good. It's kind of a slow week.
Yeah.
But I haven't done much, really, just yard work, stuff like that.
That's good.
Watching Tigers getting more wins.
Yep.
The
Tigers win again.
Tigers won again. Yeah, no, it's been good. Really, really kind of not much this week. So
that's okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Going to the Tigers game tomorrow. So that's exciting. Schoolboy's pitching.
Rangers?
Yes.
Rangers, right?
Yep. Schoolboy's on the bump, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I haven't seen him yet this year.
No.
Actually, I don't think I saw him pitch at all last year either.
Okay.
In person, at least. So
we went. We took the kids a couple weeks ago for Megan's stepson's. Megan's son's, my stepson's baseball little league, and Scuba pitched that day. He came around, he was slapping all the kids, high five.
Oh yeah, because they got to go on the field, right?
Yeah, they got to walk the field, which was really cool.
Did you run the bases afterwards?
No, we did not do that. We actually left before the game was over. I think the Tigers were winning pretty handily, so we just left to avoid traffic and stuff. But it was a good time.
Dude, that line, because I like going to the Sunday games.
Yeah.
Just because they're 1 o'clock games almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the kids' day, which is fine. But I know, I'll leave or that line is wrapped around the complex.
Oh, dude.
It starts at the 6th, 7th inning.
So the line started from the Gallagher gate, right? And then it wraps along the Ford Field, and then it wraps along to the next block. And it kept going.
Because I think they come down the first base side, right?
Yes. This time they actually had them come through because they didn't do the bases. They ran the perimeter. They actually came in through the gate by right field. By the
the golf carts and stuff come through. The big open. I got
right
you,
field there. Yep. So and then they just walked the dirt outline.
Okay.
Of the perimeter. So
okay.
Yep. So it was cool. They had a good time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. You get to see Scuba pitch tomorrow. He's fun to watch live.
Yeah, I'm excited. It should be good.
Yep.
And Texas, they were projected to be a pretty good team. They're in 3rd place. They've been dropping off. So
really,
they Tigers are playing well. So it will be a good game.
Yeah,
it'll be a good game.
Yep.
I don't know who they have pitching tomorrow, but either way, I'm excited to get downtown Friday night, fireworks and all that good stuff. So it's gonna be.
I think the weather's supposed to be good too for you guys. So you'll have a great.
Yeah,
it's always a good time down there.
All right, let's get into it. We got we're going to wrap up the Pistons season.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the Lions draft.
Yep.
Touch on the Tigers, what they got going on.
Yep.
We got a fun list today.
Yeah, this one I'm really excited for.
This one was tough.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but this is going to be exciting. We might bring the goosebumps back with this one.
But it's going to be our top 5 Detroit sports moments.
Yep.
So that was a good one. It was fun doing the research on it too.
It was
really thinking back in my memories of which ones stand out.
Yep. I had to go and do some YouTube research to kind of relive the moment a little.
Oh yeah,
so calls and just that was fun. And then obviously we'll cap it off with our Stud and Duds. But another good show. Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna get started with the Pistons. Their season just ended. They got knocked out by the Knicks, but I mean, first of all, hats off to the Pistons. They were in the playoffs. I mean, it's been a minute.
Yep.
So, how do you think that went? What do you see moving forward?
Yeah, you know what? For one, they obviously belonged. You know what I mean? Not like in years past where they just got bounced in 4 games. Like, they obviously belonged. They were gritty. Like, they had their moments. And it seemed like every game kind of played out the same way. Like, the Knicks would come out
almost the same,
firing.
Yeah.
And then the Pistons would claw their way back. And I respected them for that because the Knicks would get up like 12, 15 points even. And then the Pistons would take the lead at the half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the second half was, it is what it was. It
just couldn't stop the Knicks from going on these 21-0 runs, 11-0 runs.
Yep.
It was like 15-3 run.
Yep.
I mean, that's what was killing them. But they were in every single game.
Yes.
Every single game they're in it. They had a chance to win every single game.
Yep.
Obviously, the Knicks, came out on top, showing they were the better team. But if they could have just had a couple more defensive stops, and turnovers were huge.
Yes.
100%. And even Cade had a lot of turnovers. But you know what? Yeah, you don't want to see him have that many turnovers, but he's carrying this team. He needs some help.
He does. And I also, too, like, I look at the youth of the team, too. Like, they got the experience. And I think what was really, like, pivotal for them was clawing their way back in these games. And then also, like, the 2 games they did win. Like, I don't want to, like, overlook that they did go 2-4 in the series, but they did claw their way back in 2 of those. Like, in every game they did. But they did find a way to win 2 of those games.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like the guy at all, but I will give Brunson some credit. He made some freaking shots, dude. Like, just shots that were just unbelievable.
I mean, the shot that he had to seal up the series, that maneuver he put on
Asar?
Was Asar? It was Asar.
Yeah, that was sick.
Broke his ankles.
Yeah.
Right? And it just wide open. I was like, damn.
The thing is, he doesn't need to do the flopping crap. Like, just play, because he's a damn good player. Like, he had
a couple of his calls turned over on him.
That was good to see. Yeah, especially in that the last couple of games. But I think Cade, he needs to level up. He's not quite at that status. Like, he can carry the team, and he did do it. But like you said, he did in that last game. I remember him just kind of floating a pass. I think he was trying to, who was he trying to hit? Duran or
Jalen, yeah.
And he just kind of floated the ball like a 50-50 ball. Like that, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like at that, you know what I mean? So it's things like that. And then like getting sloppy with the ball. That Malik Beasley, like that last shot, he had a wide open look. He might have hit that. You know,
he was shooting before he had the ball on his hand.
Exactly. But that happened a few times. You saw that, like that sloppiness.
It was those turnovers that killed us, which led to those long runs that the Knicks were putting together.
And it's the attention to detail, it's the inexperience, and I think that they will be better for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Langdon came out yesterday, did his presser, and in GM fashion, said a lot without saying anything.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like he wasn't gonna do much, but then you could read into it like, well, the season just ended. We got to see what happens in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're close. We need some more pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everybody on this team is going to be here when everything kind of falls into place.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who the answer is. Was it Wembanyama? They're looking for a trade for him. I've heard that, like, oh, do the Pistons go after him? My initial thought is I say no, because I feel like we have to give up way too much of what we have to go get him. It would be nice, but I'm afraid that you'd give up all these younger guys that are, kind of like the Lions and Tigers. These younger guys are really now starting to come around and see that they can be part of this team.
Yeah.
But it's the NBA. I mean, sometimes just 2 superstars on the team is all you really need.
Yeah, I think they need to let this play out a little bit, like not really shake the team up too much, because I think they're definitely onto something. And these guys are really young. You're going to get Ivy back next year. So I don't know.
That's going to help. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, for sure. But they got some great experience. And if you look what the Knicks are doing right now, the Knicks are up 2-0 on Boston.
Boston blew a 20-point lead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought whoever won this year, Pistons or Knicks, were just done.
Doomed. Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're no way you're making it out of the second round.
Yep. So it goes to show you, I with that being said, I think the Pistons are capable of playing with anybody. And I think I think they're getting there. Like next year, they were 6 seed this year. Like they should be a 3 or 4 at least next year.
I mean, why not? I mean, I think anybody in the city can agree it was a successful season.
Mm-hmm.
With that, just like the Lions and Tigers, more pressure next year.
Yeah.
Now we expect you just said it, back to the playoffs and a higher seed.
Yep.
And get out of the first round.
Yep. And don't lose any home playoff games. Like, can we not go 0-3 at home?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, damn.
Yeah, we saw them split, in New York.
Yeah.
Right? You saw them split. I'm like, oh, shoot, now they're coming back. It's going to be a rabid fan base. And
the fans showed out.
They did. They were good.
They did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
It was exciting to see. I mean, this city is hot right now with all these sports. I mean, minus the Red Wings. I mean, that's a whole nother story. But,
yeah. But we support our.
We do.
When you provide us a good product. Yeah.
And it's fun that it's not just one team. It's not just one of our 4 teams that are doing well. It's three of the 4 are making the playoffs, are making pushes, right? Lions are a top team. Tigers are the top team right now, record-wise. And the Pistons came through and made the playoffs. Pistons reminded me a lot of what the Tigers did last year and what the Lions did 2 years ago, right?
Kind of came out of nowhere.
You had a 14-win season.
Mm-hmm.
You come out, win 44. Right, everybody's just thinking
the Lions won more games last year than the Pistons won 2 years ago.
Exactly. It was one of those. It's the same storyline. Like just win a couple extra games, maybe flirt with the playoffs. That's how all 3 teams work.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Lions make the playoffs, go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
What? Tigers 0.2% chance of going to the playoffs. All of a sudden, you win the
wild card. Like 30-10 run.
Right.
Yeah.
Pistons 14 wins to 44 and a 6 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you get a city behind you.
Oh,
right
yeah.
That's how you turn it around.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know if the Pistons are championship ready, but whatever, we're on their way. Making the playoffs is huge. So
yeah, well, I mean, they got one of the pieces where you do need a superstar. You got one in Cade Cunningham, and you have a good supporting cast.
Yeah.
And it seems like they have a good coach. Bickerstaff worries me a little bit because I think he did kind of lose his emotion a little bit, like in that game. He kind of lost himself a little bit, but the guys play really hard for him. I mean, it's clear. You have a 30-game turnaround between one year to the next. It's clear they like him.
I mean, I think it was that last game. He was running all the way across the court.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Because he got teed up for it.
Yeah, he got teed up.
And it's like, and I get it. You're passionate. You get emotional while the game's going on. But, you got to kind of hold some of it in check. You can scream and yell, run up and down the sideline, but don't darting across the court.
Yeah, we don't need any.
What are you doing?
Yeah, seriously, because those points are important, as we saw.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, every game was within 3 points, right? 3 to 5 points.
They were all close, yeah. I mean,
you get a couple of technicals, right?
Pretty much within the last minute of the game, it was like a possession game. Like
exactly,
you know what I mean? Within, which is good to see. And honestly, and then you look at that, the Hardaway game where he had the final shot, you easily could have called that a foul. And I'm not going blaming the refs, but I'm just saying, that was a potentially missed call. He goes on and that was a 3. He was shooting, let's say he makes 2 out of 3. Okay, well, Pistons probably win that game.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's going to game 7.
Yeah.
So
the refs did come out. They issued an apology.
They
missed
jacked that one up.
They missed the call.
They jacked that one up.
I mean,
sure.
It doesn't mean anything. It's like almost, why not? Why even say anything?
Yeah.
Because now you're gonna get now you got people upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And you just add more ammo to the fire. So,
but overall successful season for the Pistons. Happy for them. Look forward to what they're gonna do next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree.
Lions had a draft the other week.
They did, didn't
they? Got some new players.
Yes.
We'll see. I'm interested what you got. What kind of grade you going to give them? And what do you think of these players? I did do some research on quite a few. I mean, I looked at all 6 of the guys that we drafted.
Yeah.
I didn't get into too much detail on some of them because obviously we got 6. You're hoping 3 will make the team.
Yeah.
Right. We understand this is how it works, but what do you think of the draft overall?
Well, it's funny. I know we were kind of talking about our show prep. I said, let's give our draft grades. And it's just following suit what all these other idiots do because we always tease the Mel Kipers and then all these guys. But
if those idiots can do it, we can give our grades, right?
Yeah.
Ours is no different than theirs.
Yes. And I will say I'm giving my grade based on what I think this team needed. Like, and I know they say you draft the best player, but you do need to address some needs. I'm going to give them a B+.
Okay.
Because they hammered the trenches.
Yes.
They hammered the trenches. I was really impressed with that. And I think the good teams, that's what they keep doing. They just keep restocking the trenches because that's the heart and soul of the Lions team is with the O-line for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they're still trying to rebuild this D-line. But I was happy. I do want to point out real quick with the this is kind of off topic, but draft related.
Yeah.
I looked at the first round of the draft. 17 of the 30 first round picks were all O linemen or D linemen. Which
it was a big man draft.
Yeah. Because there's no there
wasn't a lot of quarterbacks.
No, there was 2 quarterbacks and one of them
receivers.
There was 2 quarterbacks. One of them was rated outside of the Jackson Dart. He was rated outside the top or out of the first round. So it's just
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic there, but
no, it's good to bring up because the Lions kind of fell right into that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, with the guys we took, not even just the first round, just kind of throughout the rest of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a big man draft.
What was your grade for the Lions? What do you think?
I'm right there with you. I went the same route. So I mean, we always talk about it on here. I always admit, I don't follow college football, right? I watch some of the big games.
There's so many players. There's so many.
I can't follow all these players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went based off just positions taken, right? And we talked about this before. We needed a defensive person, a defensive lineman, DE, whatever you want to look at. We needed guards, right? Because our O-line's getting older.
Yep.
Time to bring in some young guys to kind of learn the game. I brought it up that we needed a number 3 wide receiver. That's nothing against Tim Patrick, but we need somebody else, and we need a bigger guy, right?
Yeah.
J-Mo and St. Brown they're not small, but they're not tall receivers, right?
Yep.
So based on that, I gave him a B.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it was solid, and I don't think anyone gets an A because nobody knows. I mean, this could turn out to be a D grade at the end of next season, right? Yep. So just based off positions,
yes,
without seeing anybody play or anything, I think
that's the appropriate context for these drafts too. Like you because you just don't know. Because like you said, this draft could end up being a plus. Like let's say 4 out of these 6 guys hit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, 3 of them could be starters next year. And,
absolutely.
And playing almost every day. If you got 3 of these guys playing 60% of the snaps, that's an A+ draft. Boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Change my grades.
And the thing is too, I think we get too caught up, and I'm guilty of this too. I'll go on ESPN because they set the draft up. Their draft page up nicely.
Yeah.
You can just go and the teams and then you click them and it expands it.
Yeah.
Gives you their rank. The thing is, the people that are putting these rankings together, if they were really good at their job, they would have an NFL job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to take that into consideration.
You'd be a GM somewhere.
Exactly.
If you knew how these guys were going to play, you'd be a GM picking all these
Absolutely.
players. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously they had Shedeur Sanders as rated as a first round pick, but he went to the 5th round. I know there's some more BS with that, but it just goes to show you. And then how about a Puka Nacua a couple years ago? He was a 4th round pick. Amon-Ra St. Brown, all these guys.
Exactly.
They just completely miss. So I don't know. I bring up those guys because of the Isaac Tesla guy that drafted, because there might be some potential there for that type.
And he's 6'3".
Yeah.
Right. So he's big. And what I was doing when I was looking at him, he's a big receiver. They used him a lot as a slot receiver.
Mm-hmm.
In college.
Yeah, I think
despite his size, which I was like, okay, to me, I'm like, all right, you're versatile.
Yes.
Right now, I don't know if we're going to use him like that, but now you never know who's going to line up.
Mm-hmm.
Is Brown going to be inside? J-Mo, Tesla.
And I think they liked him because he's a big guy, like you said, but he can block.
He's got a blocking mindset.
Yes.
And he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean,
cool.
Why not? He got drafted by his favorite team, grew up a Lions fan. That's always fun. I feel like these guys anybody would want to play for their hometown team.
Sure.
Right. But obviously these guys want to just get drafted and they're going to play. But I feel like there's a little bit more of that.
A little more oomph.
Yeah. When you get drafted by, you're like, oh my God, I grew up watching that. I actually get to put a Lions jersey on.
Yeah.
So he wore a Lions jersey to his interview, and Brad Holmes said he thought it was really cheesy.
He thought he was a fanboy or something.
Until he really started diving into him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, this
guy's legit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that was cool.
Yeah, I think that's that's one, like, on the surface it looks like a head scratcher, but then you start looking into it like, okay, this could be a steal.
But I mean, you could say the same thing about St. Brown at round 4.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
well,
what, yeah.
All right. I guess why not pick up a receiver?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I like it. So
I like the pick too.
I hope he does well. Let's talk about our first pick. Tyleik Williams.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle.
Yep.
Where is he out of? Georgia?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
We did get a guy from Georgia. Oh yeah. Ratledge.
Yep.
So anyways, your take on Tyleik?
Obviously I've watched a lot of Michigan football, and I've enjoyed watching my time with those last games. But he, in the big games, he has produced. He's what I like about him too. I like his size. I like that he's an interior lineman. He's great against the run. But he stayed at Ohio State the whole time. He didn't transfer. You know what I mean? I like that because with the NIL stuff.
And he didn't come out he wanted to go back for help them try to win a national championship.
And he did.
Even though it's Ohio State.
Yes.
It just gives you that he's committed to the game.
Yes.
Which, not to get off topic, but I thought this was, I want to bring this up because committed to the game, you would think any of these guys playing college football and want to go pro are committed to the game. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to Glazer, the NFL analyst, right? I can't think of his first name right now.
I was trying to think who you're.
But Glazer, he was saying a category that these teams have added to the interview process, and I can't even believe it was how much do you like football? Because there's a lot of these guys, right? So
they're just in it for.
We'll take Tyleik, right? He's committed, right? And he shows it. He loves the game of football. Yes, everyone's here for a paycheck, but he's here to commit to this team.
Yep.
Put in the work, right? Earn his spot on this team. And I know a lot of guys are later, but the fact that you have to ask that, I mean, let's just Shedeur Sanders, not committed to football.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not his.
I think that's why he fell so far. I think people.
I think that's really it.
Yeah.
And I'm just using him as an example because it's a name everybody knows, and we see the shenanigans that kind of went down with that whole draft week with him. So, but I couldn't believe that's an actual topic. You would think if you're coming in for an interview, you're committed to football, but that's not necessarily the case.
I don't think it is anymore either, especially with the NIL stuff now. Like, these guys are making more in college than they are when they get.
Some of them might be taking a pay cut.
Exactly.
Coming on a rookie contract.
That's why a lot of them are going back, especially the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The position or skilled players. But yeah, I like the pick. I was happy with it. I saw it. I'm like, perfect. I'm not going to lie. I don't know a ton about the guy.
No.
But I did go back and watch some film on him. He's big. He's going to clog up the middle. And like, that's all you can ask. He's going to take on double teams. Okay. And then, on the opposite side of him, you're going to have Hutch. Who's going to have, maybe single coverage and or single man to man. And, that's all you need him to do. He's going to stop the run. The Lions have always been good at that. So,
and I read something. He came in when he went into Ohio State. He was very overweight.
Okay.
And could barely play.
Probably had a lot of baby fat.
And he dropped like 30, 40 pounds. And then, so it's like, again, another like, all right.
Yeah. So a hurdle he had to overcome.
Exactly. Yeah. And those big men, they're supposed to be big, but he wasn't mobile, I guess you could say.
And you like the fact that that he played at Ohio State because he's going against some Big Ten linemen. And then obviously Ohio State's like this year, like they made it to the national championship. They beat some good teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get there. So like he's been up against top level competition. And I know from what I've heard, I didn't study him when he played at Michigan or played against Michigan, but from what I heard, he did fairly well against Michigan. So, and Michigan's always had top level O linemen. So I like the pick.
I like that pick.
Yeah. I like the moving on from him. I like the second round pick. The only thing with the Ratledge is, I mean, he was like first team all SEC the last 2 years. And he was first team all American. Like that's awesome.
I mean,
with the injuries, he's had some injuries. That's a bit scary.
Okay. I didn't know about the injuries.
He had surgery on his ankle last year. Pretty much every year he's had some sort of leg injury. He didn't miss like significant amount of time.
No.
It's always been something.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why he slipped into the second round to us where we're at.
Okay.
But he should start though. He probably will start right away.
The two things that I liked about him, from what I read, was penalized 3 times in 3 years.
No shit.
That was it. So
that's a good stat.
So high football IQ.
Yep.
Right. Knows how to play his position without drawing penalties like that.
Yeah.
And then the other was he was the leadership that he shows. He was voted 95% by his team to be the team captain.
Okay. So
like, I know that doesn't. I mean, it translates to the field, but it's not football. But like, that's what this team. That's what
jacks up the RAS score.
That's what this Lions team is looking for.
He's Zeitler's replacement. You think about it.
Yeah,
like he's Zeitler's.
So he's going to show up, and he's going to another guy that is going to be committed.
He's going to play. And if he stays healthy, I think he is going to be damn good on this O-line. Like I really like the makeup of him, and he played at Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think he stayed there the whole time. He won a national championship twice.
Yes.
He beat the shit out of Michigan one year.
And I kind of would just want to have a beer with him.
Oh man, I just want to touch that hair.
I know that. I was reading. He said it started as a joke. He did it as a joke or like a dare or something, and just kind of.
I hope he keeps.
And just kind of ran with it. Like just kind of came a part of him after a while.
Yeah, and it figures his name is Tate. I mean, he looks like a Tate.
Oh,
Tate
yeah.
Ratledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. I like the pick. I hope he stays healthy because I think he's going to be a stud.
I think so. And even if he's not starting right away, he's going to be a guy that's really going to take what Ragnow and Glasgow, all those what those guys are going to say to him to kind of get in there and because he's going to be taking, their spots too as the season
for sure.
The years go on.
For sure.
We talked about that Tesla guy, so that was a good third pick.
Real quick, you know what? There's like a it seems like there's like a this year and then in the years past, like the Lions this year we took 3 guys from Georgia. Okay, so Georgia within the last few years have won 2 national championships, right? Yeah. And then in the past, the Lions have loaded up on Alabama players.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
It's and then Tesla's from Arkansas, SEC. We took Miles Frazier. He's a guard. He played at LSU, SEC.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely like those guys. They like those guys in the SEC.
They're football players.
Yeah. That's the best. I mean, they're the best.
I mean, you see what that division does year in and year out.
Yep.
So
exactly.
So that Miles Frazier is who we took. I was doing some research on him. Pretty much what I came up with from what I read, he's going to be good for the depth chart.
Yep.
Not a starter, not an answer to
doesn't do anything special, but
just kind of he was in there. He was kind of like the best in that at that time.
Yep.
For the Lions to take.
Yep.
And that's kind of really, it's kind of like, all right, well, let's prove yourself. Let's see what you have. All I have is he's just going to kind of be a good depth player.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point with that too, because also I think the reason why they drafted him too is because I was reading that he played all 4 O-line positions except center. So I mean, all 5. Well, all of them except center.
Yeah,
in his college career. So like, I think the Lions like that too. Like,
well, that's good. So if a guy, so he might get more playing time based off that. If a guy has to come out for a series or a play, well, he can go in to the guard. Oh, the guard, he can go into the tackle spot on either side of the ball. That's going to be good.
Yep. And he played at LSU. Like they haven't been at the level of like Georgia or whatever, but they're in an SEC. They're always good. And the one year he was a part of the Joe Moore Award finalist. Okay. I think Michigan won it that year, maybe, or somebody, but like he was part of that group that was a finalist for that award.
Okay.
So it's like the best O-line combination in the country. So that's nice.
No, it's.
I don't think he had a lot of injury. Like he had some issues, but nothing like that really stands out injury-wise. So, anyways,
the guy that I'm excited just because he's got a good story is Ahmad.
Good luck with his name.
Hassananin.
I think that's it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
From Boise State.
Yeah. Defensive edge. I like this pickup. I mean, it's 5th round. Obviously, you got to prove it. This guy's got a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Fits this team.
Yep.
With his character and stuff. He's only played for 6 years. He didn't even know what football was.
Yeah. Egyptian, first Egyptian draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yep. He was productive. Like I know he played at Boise State, but people forget Boise State was in the playoff this year. And And Boise State's got a good program. And the last 2 years, I think he's had 20-something sacks.
Yeah, so he led Boise State in sacks and tackles for losses.
Did he really?
2 years in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, but yeah, he picked up football his junior year of high school.
Okay.
He was a big fan of Aaron Donald.
Oh,
that's how he was like, he didn't even know what any of these positions were. He didn't know what the sport of football was.
Sure.
Started following his Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Huh.
So
yeah, I like the pick too. He'll probably be like a project just because he's going to need to be probably worked out a bit and like
he's not the answer
stronger, right?
For the defensive edge spot.
But you never know.
You really don't.
Yeah.
And
you could tell he was really excited to get drafted by Detroit.
Yeah, what did he tell Campbell? I'll die for you out there. Yeah. Pretty much, it's almost not, this isn't to him, but it just maybe when all that was coming out, made me think of Waterboy. Like, your job? Go get me that football.
Yes.
Just go get me the football. See that quarterback?
Yep.
That's your only job is go get him.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for him. I hope he turns into something because he's got a really good story. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last guy we drafted, Dan Jackson, safety.
Yeah, another Georgia boy.
Yeah, not much information on him, just kind of.
I think he was a walk-on at some point, and then he just worked his way up.
Yeah, and so,
he's got good work ethic.
He's kind of going to be, to me, he's like the Miles Frazier and the Ahmad, like, all right.
Probably a special teams guy.
Yeah, but let's see what you got.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
Because, I don't think at any point he's going to be taking Branch or Joseph's spot, but it doesn't hurt to have the depth, right? I feel like that's what a lot of this draft was for, was depth, maybe except for your first two picks.
Mm-hmm.
But even again, the guard, Ratledge, like, start learning, right? I think this was depth we learned last year. We needed some guys that will be able to step up.
Yeah.
I do like that Miles Frazier, you were saying that he can
play
at any of the offensive positions on either side of the ball. So that's huge. I think that's kind of what I took away is what Holmes was looking at when he was drafting these guys this year.
Yeah, I think it also goes to show you too that they probably weren't super thrilled with a lot of the top level, like skilled players. You know what I mean? So it's just like let's just load up on what we do best, and that's win in the trenches. And I'm happy with it. I'm totally good with it. Like we saw what Philly did to the Chiefs last year. If you can protect your quarterback and you can get to the quarterback, you're going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Anyways,
it was good. The one thing because I saw this today, I know we didn't have it on our notes talk, but and I can't remember which outlet put it out, but the Power 5 rankings for the NFL came out based off the draft.
The draft now, okay.
All right. The Lions are number 4, so they got the Lions as the 4th best team in the NFL.
Do you know what the top 3 or the other first?
Yeah.
I want to see. I was going to try and guess something.
I know. I should have wrote it down.
That's okay.
But anyway, it's everybody you expect. It's Philly. It's Baltimore. It's Kansas City. It's Detroit.
Okay. Yeah. Buffalo probably right after.
It's either Buffalo, maybe even
Washington
or the Bengals.
Oh shoot.
But no, it was probably Buffalo. That it was the 5 typical teams you would think, right?
Yeah.
Washington could have been in there, but we were number 4. So
okay. I saw today too, and I don't even know if this was like accurate or what, but they had the Lions as like favorites to win the NFC North again, which I think that's pretty much a lock. I think the Lions might be like 11, 12 win team again this year, because their schedule's tough, but I think they're going to be
okay.
I think they're going to be better.
So it's Kansas City, Philly, Buffalo, Detroit, Baltimore. Washington was 6. So
Washington.
So again,
okay.
The 5 typical teams you would be in there. Which does that not sound strange that your 5 typical teams in Detroit's a typical team to be in the top 5?
It's
I
don't think we're
fun.
still used to
it's
it. We're
fun.
still not used to it.
No, you would never think that, but it is what it is, and that's where they belong. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, the Lions will be back in it. You know what I mean? They're going to be in it.
And you know what? I'm just excited for that season. I can wait because I want summer and I love baseball.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but it's going to be here before we know it.
Oh, it is. OTAs will be coming up. Yeah. Right. You're still going to see them sign in some players here or there because I saw there's some rumors that there's some undrafted free agents that they're looking at to pick up, right? Obviously, bring them. A lot of these guys are going to be brought in to like, all right, prove it. Let's see if you can make the team, make the practice squad.
Yeah,
I mean, might as well pick up as many people as you can.
They're pretty active with that stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. And like Zadarius Smith still has not signed anywhere. I think he really wants to come back here.
Yeah, I'm interested if they're going to pick him up or not.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens with that. I wouldn't mind him. Just because you have Davenport on the opposite side of Hutch right now, and like he does not last more than a few games.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue.
Zadarius has been pretty reliable in that sense, so it'd be nice to have him as some more depth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But speaking of waiting till football season, because I want to enjoy the summer, we got some Tigers talk.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I hear they're pretty good.
Tigers won again.
As we just recorded this, they won. They had a doubleheader.
They got a doubleheader. Yeah, they got the
second
playing
game.
Their second game. Let's see what it's 1-1 right now. So
okay, all right,
already on the board. That's good. Yeah, put a hurting on them today.
Oh, the poor Rockies pitcher. I think it was Freeland. Is that his name? 3. And I looked at his line today. 3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 9 runs, 5 earned. Like yikes.
Yeah, the Rockies made some pretty bad mistakes.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was listening on the radio.
And we took advantage of them.
Yeah, that's
right?
that's
2 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third. I mean, damn.
Yep.
I didn't even get a chance to turn the game on yet, and it was like 7-0 or whatever. I was like 8-0. I was damn.
Yeah. They it was it's good to see. Yesterday's game was a bit like weird because Job was not looking so good, and the Rockies just kept taking the lead, and then the Tigers would tie it up or whatever, take the lead again, and then it would just kept going back and forth. And I fell asleep before the extra innings, but I heard that was quite interesting too.
Torque again.
Yep.
Hit it into the gap. Got that run in.
Yeah, I think he's kind of found his place. I know at the beginning of the year he was hitting the shit out of the ball. It seemed like he was going constantly 2 for 4. You know what I mean? Now he's just like, okay, he's gonna go like 1 for 4, but he's going to mash a double. Yeah, he's gonna hit a home run. That's like his role.
I mean, game 1 of today's game, he had 3 RBIs.
Yeah,
so I mean,
he's doing damage, which is I'm totally good with what he's doing.
I feel like we're having it's not consistent, but if more recently, 1 game out of each series, we're kicking ass.
Yeah,
I mean we're 13-1. We got 10-1 today.
Yep.
We did it the other week too. It's just like
we're beating the shit out of either average or below average.
We're taking advantage. Yeah, and I think that's what we were missing last year.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I know they say momentum doesn't go year to year, but man, does it not sure seem like the way we ended last year has just kind of transferred right into this year with the way they're hitting, how they're being, well, how do they say it? Patiently aggressive.
Yeah.
In the box.
Yep. And I honestly, like, it just seems like they've gotten, like, there's been like this steady incline since last year. Like, they're better this year than they were at the end of last year. And I was listening to, on my way home from work today, I was listening to the game, and Dan Dickerson and Bobby Skills were kind of chatting, and they were chatting about why the offense is better. Because I pull up the numbers. It's easy to see. Like, okay, well, they're 6th in home run, 8th in average, 7th in on base, blah, blah, blah.
But how are they?
Right. How are they doing? Well, they said the difference this year is they're hammering fastballs. Last year, they were like either bottom half or bottom third in hitting fastballs, right? So, and they were explaining, and this, I'm going to give them credit because they're the ones that brought this up, and it makes sense. So they're hammering fastballs. So, fastballs usually stay in the zone, right? Scott Harris has always claimed, like, hey, we're going to control the strike zone on offensive and defensive side of the ball. Usually fastballs are dancing around the zone, right? So if you get one, hit it and do your damage. Okay, so what's that going to lead to? Pitchers are going to start using secondary pitches, and what happens then? Well, they're going to float a meatball over the middle.
You're going to hang something.
Yes, exactly. So, I think that's the difference. Like they're hammering those now, and then they're taking pitches. So,
I agree, and I think this team, I take away like a beatdown like today, but a game like last night, even with a bad team like Colorado, this offense is finding ways to win.
Yep.
Right. It's not just home runs. Now we did have that stretch last week of 20 home runs in 7 games.
I was at the that bled into the Angels series.
Yeah. But they're finding ways to get these big hits, right? Yep. Hits into the gap.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's nice to see that they're finding ways to win. but it's not always a come from behind wins. Like the offense is just producing constantly. And it's kind of, I mean, you got Torque, who's playing really well, but it's anybody's day.
Yeah.
That even includes Baez.
My coworker came up to me today. He's like, you know what his batting average is? And I was like, well, I know it's over 300. I think he said it's 311 or 313. And it's probably more because he had 2 more hits today.
And he had another catch in center field,
right.
like a really good catch. Like, I remember the call. I was outside cutting the grass and listening to Dickerson, and he's like, that's hit into the gap. Oh, that's trouble. Oh, Baez comes through. I'm like, what? Okay, maybe Baez.
I don't know.
Center fielder.
I don't know what they did to his hip. They freaking took Iron Man or Superman's hip and inserted it in there, whatever.
Is it the same person?
I don't.
Did they clone him? Is it even Baez from last year?
Well, I don't know if you heard 97.1, but they play that Javier Baez.
Javier Baez.
That's what it is. Yeah,
well,
that's what we got now.
That's what what's his face was calling him. The Key and Peele, the Michael Keegan, whatever.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He was doing it like he did that substitute team.
Oh, yeah. Aaron?
So he's trying to call him Javier
That's
Baez.
where that came from. I did not know that. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So, yeah. So, no more Javi Baez. It's only Javier Baez.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever. And his freaking magic hip.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, I got to tip my cap off to him. He's playing well. I mean, obviously, you want him to. I know I talk a lot of shit about him.
But what's good, what's good about him producing so well is that, like, okay, and at some point, Meadows should be back, hopefully.
Right.
You move him to third, okay, then you figured out your third base issue, okay, and you got Parker Meadows in center, who is a freaking gazelle out there.
Yeah.
Like, the team's only going to get better.
Exactly.
Bierling will be back. I think it is, like, first game in AAA, he hit a home run.
Yeah,
so.
Yep. Yeah, hit one the other night. So that's good that he's back at rehab. Yeah, it'll be nice to get Parker Meadows. These are all good problems to have where you're like, all right, well, where do I want to play these guys?
Yes, there's help coming in that they don't really need it, like in a sense, you know what I mean? So, I do. Like, there was an interesting thing that was brought up on the radio the other day, and it was 2 games ago, but they had the same record as they did in 06. And then they kind of talked about like the 06 team and then this team, and they were kind of talking about like, okay, how does this team compare? Which team do you like better? So I'm going to ask you, how does this team compare to the 06 team? I know that team didn't win it all, but they made it.
Right.
Compared to now, which team do you like better?
That's a tough one to answer. Because I think my initial thought is 06, but that's because I saw the end result.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we didn't win it, but we went to it, right? I think the names on the 06 team stuck out more than this team.
Sure.
I don't think we had as many young guys, right? You had a lot of established players on that 06
Yeah, you had
team.
Mags, Polanco, Granderson was young, but Pudge
was young.
Sean Casey, Kenny Rogers.
So, that's it, right? Now, your pitching staff was kind of young when you had Bonderman, Robertson,
Verlander.
So, like, that was our pitching was really, it's really young now, too. But, like, I feel like this team now is everybody's young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's the veteran out there? Baez? I mean, really, right? I mean,
Torres, but he's still
Torres.
He's still in his
right now. But yeah, he is. I mean,
in a couple of the pitchers, I guess.
But if you're looking at your position players, everybody's young, they're all within a year or two of being in the show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Green might actually be your veteran out there at this point. When you're compared to Colt Keith or Jace Young or Parker Meadows, right? Like
Green. And I agree with you, but also too, Green was drafted out of high school. So he seems like, because he's been around a while now, but
I just mean up in the show.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Or how long you've been, but just how long you've been with the team.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between 06 and this 25 team is just more established with a couple young guys like Curtis Granderson.
Yep.
To here we are with all young guys with only
Craig Monroe.
A few. Yeah. But this team's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, it's hard to think back about the regular season of 06, right? I mean, I can tell you all about the playoffs, right? Because it just sticks out. But the regular season, it's hard to remember all these games. And that's like every game right now is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Whether we're kicking their butts or we're winning in a 10th inning or getting runs in the 8th, 9th inning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's the 06 team was interesting because, like you said, they had a lot of vets on there, and they had, I mean, like you had Mags, Guillen, and Polanco. I think those three right there hit over 300, well over 300.
Yeah.
And then you had like Inge had a good year. Pudge, Sean Casey hit. Well, he couldn't run for a lick, but
right.
But you know what I mean. But like, but the pitching staff back then was not nearly as good as it is now.
I agree. And I don't even think we knew Verlander was going to be what he was going to be on that 06 team.
No, they did not.
Right. So you can't even like, they had Verlander, but technically that was his rookie season? 06 or was 07?
Well, it was his rookie season, but
But it wasn't a full rookie season.
He pitched in 05, but only pitched a couple games maybe.
Okay, so he didn't pass that.
Yeah, he was still because he won rookie of the year in 06.
Okay, it was. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we can't even say, we had Verlander. Well, you didn't know Verlander was going to do what he's still doing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, it's fun. I think. What do you think? Are we a contender? Let's just get right to it.
Yeah.
Are we a contender?
Yep.
I think the Tigers right now can beat any team in a best of 7 right now. The only team that I'm worried about right now, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And that would be to the World Series.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you look at it. You look at where the Tigers are at and the stats. I mean, they're number 1 in run differential. They're plus 73. Like what?
Which is crazy.
You know what I mean? They got 3 guys who have 8 or more home runs. Their pitching is 4th in the league. It's like they're hitting on all cylinders. I mean, and they're 11-11 against teams with a winning record. So that's okay, but at least that's, you know what I mean? Like they're split with that, and they're playing good teams. So yeah, I absolutely, and I was funny, a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in my bed and I was debating that in my head. I'm like, because I couldn't figure it out yet if they were. But then over these last couple weeks, I'm like, yeah, they totally are.
I mean, the way they're playing right now, we're only, I think today was game 38-39 with the doubleheader, right? So pretty much we're a quarter of the way through the season.
Yep.
Right. Still a lot of baseball, but I think right now, quarter of the way, we're in it. We're a contender.
100%.
And I think we should revisit this question at game number 80. 81, right? Halfway through the season. Are we still contenders? And I think we just keep doing these checks quarter way through the season. Are we still a contender to be there? And I don't see how you could say we're not at this moment right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're the best team in the AL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not by fluke.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's not. No, they're doing everything right.
That run differential says a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're winning and you're putting up a lot of runs.
Yes. Yep. And, I was trying to play devil's advocate with myself, thinking like this offense cannot continue. But then I was looking like, okay, well, when the season started, Green was sucking, Keith was sucking, and those 2 guys have kind of, and even Sweeney's turned it around.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're going to get Meadows back. And like, so if even like, and I think Torque has come back to earth, but he's still producing.
Oh yeah. I mean, nobody can sustain what he started with. And, I was talking to our buddy about Green a couple weeks ago. I was like, it's better to have him struggle now, be in his slump now, than come July and August when we're fighting. Because you know who's not getting off our ass? It's Cleveland. All right. So I mean, they're playing well.
I don't know how, because in their run differential, they're like negative 17.
Yeah.
Like what in the actual?
So when they lose by a lot.
Yeah.
When they win, they're just barely winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So are they for real? Are they not? But whatever, they're on our ass right now. So
the Central's picking up, like with the Royals of,
and I think they're a surprise team of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think. Were they? I think they were talking about the Royals. They said the Royals have won 15 of their last 17 or something like that, because they were buried.
Yeah. I think they're going for their 6th in a row today or something like that.
Yeah. What do you think? How many games do you think it's going to take to win this division?
90.
90?
I mean, everybody was around 83, 84, 85, right? The Vegas odds, right? Tigers were 83.5. I think Cleveland was at like 84, 85.
Okay.
Minnesota was around 86. The way that if it continues through this first 40 games, I'm thinking 90. I think 90 is going to
I think there. Bare minimum 90. It wouldn't surprise me if it takes 92, 93 to win it. What did Cleveland have last year? Cleveland won 90 plus games.
I think they had 90, 91.
Yeah, they were above 90. So
I think that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when when we start playing more divisional teams, especially those top 2, Cleveland and Kansas City, how we fare. I think the Tigers are going to be fine against them. But that will be really fun.
Yeah, but they're going to be tough matchups, but they'll be fun to play.
Real quick before we close out this topic,
yes.
I know we're still a little bit of ways away, but a hot topic is always a trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where would you stand like right now? Like, are you making a deal? Are you staying put? I mean, obviously they're not selling anything, but like,
oh yeah, I'm buying.
You're gonna buy.
Buying.
Yeah.
At this point right now, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I really don't know if we should be looking at pitcher, like some type of bullpen arm, maybe somebody else to come in and help Job out, because I think Job, he's pitching well, but I think he's going to be up and down all season, just being his full rookie year.
Yep.
But I think our offense is playing so well. It's like, okay, we don't really need a bat, but you might want to get a bat. Like I still think a solid third baseman. Mm-hmm. I still think like I saw a rumor today, Bo Bichette was rumored to the Tigers. Arenado to the Tigers. There was another name I can't remember his. No, but they're all third basemen. So I think if I'm going to buy anybody, I'm buying a third baseman.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I could get behind that. I think if anything, it just needs to be a stick. If they,
well, that's stick, but a third baseman.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the position we have to.
They can lock down that position. Yeah, the whole this thing with Jace Young, I think they brought him back up too early. I don't think he's not quite ready, and hopefully once Meadows comes back, soon, Baez can take that spot and play it decently and hold it down. But yeah, that's where I would go to. But I will say with the Tigers, if they are going to make a trade, like, I'm sorry, your top three guys are untouchable. Your top three prospects, Max Clark, Bryce Renier, and Kevin McConnell. I am not trading those guys. The Tigers do have a deep farm system. Number one in MLB, whatever you want to pay
trade somebody else. Don't trade those, especially because if we're going to be buying somebody, you're only getting them for a year. He's a rental.
Yep.
Right? He's a rental. So don't throw away the future just to...
I agree. Yeah, you want to have those guys.
Sure, get rid of some prospects. I'm fine with that. Just not those three guys.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This next one's going to be fun. So, we like to do our top 5 lists.
We like to do some lists.
And this one should have been top 20 because this was tough to do.
Yeah.
No, top 5 of our favorite best Detroit moments.
Yes, we had to been rules. We had to been kind of alive and witnessed it, and like actually had some emotional attachment to whatever. So whatever.
Doesn't mean you had to have been live at the place, or whatever, but you had to somewhat experience it.
Yeah.
Right? So, this one was tough. I think I narrowed it. There's so many that I'm like, should I put that in? Should I put that in?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with my just original list.
Okay.
Because I think that's where my heart was at.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just going to stick with that.
Okay.
Right? Because there's a lot of, and we'll talk about the honorable mentions.
Yes.
Do you want to do the honorable mentions first?
Let's do that. I like that idea because I was thinking about that too. Let's get those out of the way because I want to honor those.
Okay, good. Because I got a good one that I want to throw.
Okay, good.
Okay, can I go first?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I just have a couple words to say. Trouble with the snap.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You had to do it.
I had to do it.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm going to go grab another beer and I'm going to bed. If there's if a sporting event ever gave me a hangover, it was that one.
Yeah. And
we were at Uncle David.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, Harbaugh's first season. Yeah, we're going to win. We're going to beat State. State was good then.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes, State was good. Yes.
State was really good then. And that
was a hell of a game.
That was a great game.
And
holy shit.
I had to pick that one because at your uncle's house.
Yep.
Guys, I'm the only State fan there. Everybody's living high. It's the trouble with the snap. I'm the only one that can be excited. Everyone is pissed off. I'm the only one that's running around like a madman because I'm so excited. And so that memory will always be with me.
The commentator, I can't remember his name, but he's a pretty popular one. His voice like he's going through puberty. And he's going to score.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, all right. I had to bring that one up.
And then the guy, the meme where he's like,
yeah.
the fan in the stands. Oh, my God. No, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a phone. I know that one hurts you.
You got to take
it's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, well, I'm taking you out of the will. Good one. All right. Anyways, if you want to, all right, you want me to give you an honorable mention? We'll go back and forth. Oh man, see, I have 2 Pistons ones in my honorable mentions. I couldn't sneak them into my top 5 because I don't know, but Billups's buzzer beater in Game 5 of the
half court shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll never forget that one because we were all invested in the Pistons that year, and like they actually ended up losing that game. But I kind of feel like
against Jason Kidd.
Yes, but I feel like that one might have sharpened them for the rest of the series. You know what I mean? Like just Mr. Big Shot.
Yes.
The Nets, I think, missed like 3 out of their 4 free throws. And then the Pistons had to inbound it from the opposite end.
Yeah.
And they get it to Billups, and he just heaves a half court and it goes in. You're like, what in the actual F?
So I actually have kind of a fun story for that one. So, because I wasn't able to watch the game. So my cousin Kyle and I, everybody knows him as Rubber Legs, right? We were at the Offspring concert. That night we were at the Fox.
Gotta get away from.
So this is back in this was 04?
Yeah, 04, yeah.
So there's no smartphones, right? So we're there, and there's this other guy, another Pistons fan. He has this flip phone that somehow has internet.
Yeah.
Right? And we're like, we're listening. The Offspring's on, right? And we're listening. And like, because I noticed, and I was like, is that the Pistons score?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like the whole second, and we're watching, it's overtime, right? And you see, I don't remember what the score was at the time, but right. Like,
so you guys aren't seeing live action. No, seeing the score.
He just keeps updating. And it was like 88, 85.
Yeah.
And it was like 0 seconds left on a clock, and all of a sudden it just goes 88, 88.
Yeah.
And the 3 was just lost in the middle of this concert, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, what are these 3 shit all on this flip phone, just watching the score, he's like hitting it every 5 seconds trying to update it. And
oh my God, that is crazy. You know what's funny? I wasn't watching the game either, but I was going to my buddy's house and I was listening to the game on the radio, and I was about to go into the party, and I was like, well, I'm just going to sit and listen to the rest of this game. And then I caught the radio call of that, and I just was in such disbelief.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I do one more honorable mention and then go into
go ahead.
Go into this. I have Iserman's overtime goal in 1996.
Okay, yeah.
The slap shot goal to win in double overtime. Yes.
Yep. That's a good one. I
was a little young. I vaguely remember it, but my family was huge Red Wings fans throughout the 90s and stuff, so I wanted to put that one. It wouldn't make my top 5, but
yeah, no, that's a really good one. It's actually funny. That's yeah. Anyways,
I didn't mean to take one of your actual.
I'll add some more to it. I'll add some more context to it, but it's all right. So I had between my honorable mentions, I also had Tayshaun's block and Kerry Carpenter's homer, but I think I'm gonna go with Tayshaun's block just because of the what that mattered to that team, and just because that was a for sure layup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was such a big moment, but just like that whole team and just what that block meant, like it was just it's like that moment, the Billups buzzer beater and then the Tayshaun block, like those are the things you need, like just those moments that you need to get to that that hump championship.
That one made my top 5.
Did it? Yeah. Yes. That was a big one for sure. So
and that's why I said let's do one more honorable mention before we start.
Yes.
Getting into our each top spot.
Because it's hard because all of those could be inserted in our.
And it's like I tried to. So I have one that is definitely number 1. My number 1 is by far my number 1.
Okay. Yeah.
But the 4 that are underneath, like a lot of our top 5 lists, like it's not a hard number 2 to a hard number 3, right? Like they could be interchangeable.
Absolutely.
But I do. My 1 is my 1.
Same here.
So. Okay. You want to start? Number 5?
Sure.
Only because I
know. I actually, my number 5 is the Iserman goal in 1996, Game 7. I was during that year or like that stretch. I was such a huge Wings fan. And it's funny. I was just going through my closet. I have a Paul Coffey jersey and a Brendan Shanahan jersey.
Nice.
I got tons of memorabilia from that year. I was just so invested in like that stretch. And I remember I was watching the game in my bedroom, and what overtime was it? Was it second overtime?
Second overtime.
Second overtime, game 7 against the Blues. Gretzky was on that team. Western Conference semifinals, right?
Yeah.
And like the game just is like not much going on in the game. And then all of a sudden just Yzerman comes and just takes the puck. He gets to the blue line and just blasts a slap shot. All of a sudden you hear the ping.
Yeah.
And then the joy erupts.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And I remember getting like the TV. I think when the one TV angle I saw was like Yzerman, it was like straight on.
Yeah.
Like this shot. And then you just see him jumping up and down, and it's like, oh my God. And like the Wings didn't win that cup that year.
No.
But like that was
huge.
That set them up, I think, for winning the cup the next 2 years. You know what I mean? So like that was a major one. So yeah, anyways, that's my number 5. How about you?
My number 5 is last year's Kerry Carpenter home run off of Klaus.
I had that one in my honorable mention. That was amazing.
And that's just because, and I know it's brand new, right? It's brand new moment. But I had to put it in there just from a baseball fan, what that team did last year.
Yeah.
Sitting at my house watching that happen and just like, I mean, it's chills. I remember every once in a while I come across a video on Facebook and I
gotta rewatch it.
And they put the Moneyball music behind it, and it's like I'm gonna get emotional, right? So it's like, it's awesome. I mean,
that is because I think if the Tigers end up getting this done, if it's this year or the year after, like that's going to be attached to that championship.
That's just like Yzerman's goal. That's Bill's shot. That's Tayshaun Prince's block. That could.
Yep.
That's who you're always going to think about that.
Yep. Yes. And then like that's going to be associated with Kerry Carpenter as like being clutch in the postseason for his whole career now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that was amazing. It couldn't have been at a better time. That was so awesome. Yeah, good one. Okay, well, all right. So moving on. My number 4 is the Magler Ordonez series clinching, or the AL Pennant series clinching home run against the A's. I mean, Dan's call, just absolute legendary.
Unbelievable call.
Yeah. Polanco's excitement rounding the bases.
Oh, he was that was amazing.
Yep. And then just, like when they would play the We're All Behind Our Baseball Team song, like that always gives me chills. And then I got to go to the game 2 of the World Series that year and just kind of like lumping that all together. It was just amazing. And that like kind of jump started like the whole the Tigers winning ways. I know they were, they made the playoffs that year for the first time since. I was thinking,
they were the worst team the year before.
Yeah. Oh, or in 03, right?
Well, 03 they had the worst record, but we were last place.
Oh, in 05.
Because they did that.
Shoot.
Worst to first.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And when was the last time the Tigers made the playoffs before 06? Was it in the 80s? It had to have been the 80s.
You know what? I don't know.
So think about that. Like,
because they weren't good. Even though we had good players, they were not good in the 90s.
Yeah. So, that was just, and I think that kind of jump started like the Tigers are a thing now. And I think that started it.
Yeah. It brought it back.
Yeah.
It brought I think this has always been a baseball city. I think that people kind of lit the fire again. Yeah.
For sure. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
So my number 4 is, it's not necessarily a moment, but I think it was a moment when the regular season ended, and that was Miggy's Triple Crown.
Oh, okay.
Being part of Detroit, getting the Triple Crown, because it hadn't happened since Yastrzemski, however you say his name, did it back in, what was it, the 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
Right? It was like 4 years. So I put that, I know it's not a certain moment, but that is, I think it was like knowing, because he was fighting Granderson all the way down to the final game for those home runs.
Yeah.
And then that final game ended and he had the Triple Crown.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, arguably might be the one of the greatest like pure like hitting seasons ever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He had 344.
No, he hit
341.
No, he hit, and then that's what I thought he hit 44 home runs, 139 RBIs, and he hit, I think it was 334.
334. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just sick.
Yeah.
That's sickening. Yeah, gonna miss his production for sure.
He's on the
hitting coach for Venezuela.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, they got a good one. Yeah, he was he's definitely gonna be missed.
All right, number 3 for you.
All right, number 3 for me is my Michigan Wolverines finally beating Ohio State in 2021. Just that was the actually right after my youngest son Luke was born. I was actually holding him watching that game. He was just he was like 3 weeks old. So he has not seen Michigan lose to Ohio State yet. I just got to put that out there. But anyway, the game was snowing, which helped Michigan a lot. Finally, Michigan, Ohio State had, up until that point, beat Michigan 8 years in a row. And it was always a freaking just a beat down.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? So my fandom was really my ego was taking a hit big time. But I'll set this up too. I actually had a dream. This is how sick I am. I had a dream about Michigan beating Ohio State a year or two prior. I'm like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, finally, I just remember from that game, Hutchinson putting a Buckeye O-lineman, literally in an invisible recliner. He literally just bull rushed him.
Yeah.
To get to force an air throw by CJ Stroud, and then Haskins hurdling a Buckeye defender. And then then he scored 2 plays later, and the Buckeyes just literally just have it.
Yeah.
Just have it because we need the possession.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome to see Michigan break OSU. It was just really cool.
Especially being a Michigan fan, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
It was an emotional one for sure. So
that's a good one. My number 3, you brought it up earlier, was Tayshaun Prince's block on Reggie Miller. And that just goes back to, just like you said, I was so big into watching the Pistons at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that block out of nowhere. I remember Reggie getting the ball, going down. I'm like, oh my God. And all of a sudden this arm just extends from nowhere.
He had some long arms.
He did. He had some long arms. And that's and all you saw was the arm coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, and then again, obviously, and then the championship that followed that.
Yeah.
It was just, that was a huge setup. And and I think that will go down as a top 10 playoff basketball play.
Oh,
and they still talk about that block to this day. And the fact that it was on Reggie Miller, right? And I like Reggie Miller. He was one of the better players at the time, kind of in his prime of his career, I guess you would say. And then to have Tayshaun block him and the Pistons, knock them off, that because we were fighting the Pacers quite a bit in the playoffs back then.
Yeah. They were always, with the Malice at the Palace too. The regular season after that.
Yeah.
But they were the Nets, the Pacers.
Yeah.
And then eventually the Heat. We were always and then obviously Cleveland too. But it was just always them.
Yes.
We were always going to battle with those teams.
Exactly. And we were either playing the Pacers in the second round and the Nets in the conference finals, or vice versa.
Yeah. And those teams were a pain in the ass. But the Pistons of that era, that championship, they willed their way to winning that. They just were not
100% team ball.
Yeah, they were not accepting anything less than a championship.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. All right, my number 2 is the Lions' first playoff win since 1991. Against the Rams here less than 2 years ago. I was there at the game, playing against Stafford. The stadium, when you walked into the stadium, you just felt there was a buzz. There was an energy. There was a buzz. And I'll never forget too, because I think that we were all, we got there a couple hours earlier. We were watching the Cowboys get their ass kicked by the Packers. We're all just laughing. So, it just kind of felt good. The game for one was fantastic. Stafford got his ass beat.
Yeah.
The ending was crazy. Just the Lions completed that pass Goff completed that pass to Amon-Ra. And we're like, okay, we got a first down. All right. Well, we still got to probably get another one, right? And then they just kind of took their time. And everybody's looking around like, holy shit, the game's over.
That's it, yeah.
And then the crowd just erupted. And I
remember I was at my neighbor's house watching that game. And same thing. I saw St. Brown because we're watching the clock, right? It's a little different when you're at the stadium. They're not watching it on TV.
Right.
He kind of dove for that first down, and the whole house just erupted. That's it.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Just let the clock hit zeros.
Yep.
But we won it. It's over.
Yep.
Yeah. That was quite amazing.
Yeah. That was definitely memorable. I was there with my my in-laws. They took us in with my brother-in-law. That was a cool moment. We were kind of in shock. Just of it. It didn't really hit us, but it's one of those things where you watch the highlights afterwards, and then it starts hitting you later and later and later, and then just a really, really cool moment. And then actually I was there, my mom was there. She was with another group of people, and then I had other people there. So everybody kind of came together. We took this big picture. It was cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, my number 2 is again, it's kind of like the Miggy's Triple Crown, but it was Justin Verlander winning the Cy Young and MVP
in the same year.
Yeah. Seeing him get those awards hadn't been done in a long time. A pitcher getting
he's still pitching.
Yeah, and the Giants they were in like second place, I think, first place for a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So weird to see him again in another uniform. But that 2012 or 2011 season was just absolutely phenomenal. He was such a stud.
Yep.
I mean, I remember any given time, I mean, you could still get, I mean, this is 2012. You could get tickets a little cheaper to the games. We used to always walk up to the box office, but I would have a buddy, my buddy Adam, he would call me up. He'd be like, JV's pitching tonight. You want to go to the game? And it would be like literally an hour, 2 hours before the game. And this happened throughout the whole season. I went to so many baseball games and only watched Verlander pitch. So I think that's kind of where that comes in.
Sure.
It was always like, hey,
there was a lead up to it.
You want to go? Because it was always a no at chance.
Yeah.
Anytime he took the mound that year, you didn't know if it was going to be a no.
Yeah.
Right. So, hey, you want to go watch the game? Yeah, let's go grab $5 tickets, right? And we didn't care where we're sitting. JV was pitching, right? And it just happened constantly throughout the season. So I think seeing that at the end, him getting both those awards, like you said, it was a build-up throughout the season of let's go watch him play. And yeah.
Well, all right, let me ask you this real quick. And not to put you on the spot, but like, okay, so how many pitchers have won MVP and Cy Young in the same year? Like
I don't know the number. I know in Detroit, JV did it and Willie Hernandez did it.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Interesting.
I have a feeling, I don't remember if it was the same. I don't think it was the same. I know Clayton Kershaw has won MVP and a Cy Young, but I don't think they were the same year. So it's very rare that a guy has won a Cy Young and MVP in the same year.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was, I mean, you go back and think about like that stretch of Tigers baseball. I mean, they won 4 division championships in a row. They did make the World Series twice.
Yeah.
And then you think about like the Miggy, the Triple Crown, and then JV, like the players we had on that team. Like V-Mart had a year through that stretch too, where he was a DH.
He won the batting title.
He finished 5th in the MVP voting as a DH.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they had some players, man.
Yeah.
Their bullpen.
I know.
Yeah, but that was a fun stretch of baseball, man.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, and so Verlander, he's had what? How many no-hitters has he had? He had 2 as a Tiger, right?
2.
He had 2?
I think that's it.
Okay, he's had 2. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Okay. All right, cool.
All right, what's your number 1?
Number 1, well, you could probably figure this one out, knowing how much of a Michigan fan I am. It is the Michigan stuffing Alabama in OT in the Rose Bowl to secure their berth in the national championship game.
That was a hell of a game.
Yeah. And the thing about it, I was thinking about this game too. Like the game was sloppy because like there was like these there'd be turnovers, or like there was that botched punt where Michigan fielded it at like their own 1, and then they had to drive the length of the field to tie the game. Bama made some mistakes. I think Michigan had like 6 sacks in the game, but leading up to it, like the OT, one of my favorite players for Michigan is Mason Graham, and he like 2 plays before the end of the game, he in overtime stuffed. Like he just basically bolted right up the middle, stuffed Milrow and dropped him for a loss. And then Milrow completes a pass, gets it to the 3. So it's 4th and 3 at the goal line, 27-20 Michigan. And Milrow takes a low snap, tries to go up the middle, and just Michigan stuffs him. And it just like, that's it. It was game. It was
natty time.
Yep. And and then they ended up blowing out Washington. We all went out. That was really fun. Cool. Yep. So that was the moment that I still go back and watch that series, like on occasion, just to kind of, if I need some goosebumps, I'll watch that series again. So
no, that's awesome.
That's my number 1.
So my number 1, you mentioned it earlier, but it's the Mags home run.
Yeah,
I got a lot of baseball in mind. I just watch a lot of baseball. That's how it goes. But I remember I was downtown at a friend's apartment, watching the game and just absolutely going crazy. We ran down Woodward, right? We were driving around Woodward. I bought a Free Press and a Detroit News right off the street. They already had them printed.
That's awesome.
just the whole city celebrating that we were going to the World Series.
Yeah.
Listening to the Dan Dickerson call. I mean, I still go back and listen to that one because that one gives me chills all the time. I mean, just seeing it, and you just talked about it with the way the team was, and then, going to the World Series, and that is just one of my favorite.
Well, if you think about it, like the hit, like it's the clinch into the World Series. Okay, it's like it's a big hit.
Yeah,
and then Dan's call is probably one of the best calls ever. And then you see Polanco like rounding the field
with his
little scarf,
just
like whatever.
Is showing.
Like every moment of that was perfect.
It was
absolutely perfect.
It really was. Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, get chills thinking about it.
I got chills right now thinking about that one.
That's it, Max. That was a great home run. So glad we got him from Chicago.
Yeah, that really worked out well. That really worked out well. He had it wasn't that year. Well, I mean, that year he hit well over 300, but one year, I think it was a year after that, he had like 360. Like, that's unheard of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Polanco that same year hit 340. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
he was a good.
We were good. Yeah. We were good. Those guys were good.
Yeah, they
can't believe we couldn't pull it off, but we were good.
Yep.
That was fun. That was
a lot.
Oh man, that was fun going to. We could have done a whole show just off sports memories. Not even just a list, just swapping stories back and forth.
Yeah, maybe that was something we do a little more of.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta give it. This came across. I wrote it down. Chet Lemon died today.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I wanted to just get that out there and make sure part of the 84 World Series Tigers.
Yep.
So,
pour one out.
Yep. Pour one out for him.
Yep.
But I thought that should be mentioned. Mm-hmm. Saw that come across today. So yes, rest in peace. But before we get out of here, we gotta
wrap it up with some Stud and Dud.
Wrap it up with some Stud and Dud.
All right.
Studs or Duds first? Go Duds first?
Yeah, let's get rid of the Duds.
All right. I'm giving my Dud this week, and I just gave him a stud a couple weeks ago. Different sport, same school, U of M. Just this whole sign stealing scandal thing again, and not we're gonna break down the story again, but now they're self-disciplining themselves, and he's gonna take game 3 or 4. I mean, just admit that you did it, right? You keep trying to beat around the bush, and I'm just kind of tired of it all.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also not just Michigan; it's on the NC2A.
Yeah,
like how long are we going to drag this out? Like, just figure it out, okay?
Yeah,
it's 2 years ago, right? Let's get over it. So it's that and the NC2, the whole thing. I'm over it. You're my Dud of the week.
Yeah, and you know what? Urban Meyer kind of brought it up too, and he deserves, like, with his credibility, deserves like whatever he says with a grain of salt. But he did kind of bring up a good point. Like, this is just a major, like, dark cloud over the sport of college football, and the college football really doesn't need it because like they don't have a good reputation with the NIL and stuff like that, and then all the changes and stuff. But it's just the NCAA is kind of a joke, and I'll admit, like, for a while I was not worried that Michigan was going to get hit with something, but now I'm kind of getting worried. I just kind of have this feeling that like something is coming, but again, like nothing is really like, okay, we're being told that Michigan stole signs, but like, where's the? I haven't seen anything.
Can we just get through it?
Right. Just get over. Like, if they did do all this, that they like show us, okay, and then give them their punishment, and let's freaking move on.
I mean, with the fact that we're 2 years into it, is just kind of ridiculous.
And then you had the guy, like, when Michigan was in the college football playoff a couple years ago, when this was all just breaking. The guy, whoever runs one of the committee members of the college football playoff, which is separate from the NCAA, came out and said, well, Michigan won legitimately. So, like, okay. So, like, what does that mean?
Right. And now you're going to backtrack. Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of tired of hearing it. Like,
yeah.
And it's not even me bashing Michigan. This is just like, again.
And then Santa Ono, who was the president of Michigan, he left.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously something's going down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't leave. Okay, I get it. It's nice. The weather is nice in Florida, but they also have alligators and it's humid. So whatever.
Yeah. All right, who you got for your Dud?
I got my Dud. Is going to be the Cleveland Browns. I've probably dudded them in the past, but they always deserved it. Like,
hey, you can be Dud multiple times.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And I was really like, I was like, okay, they're doing some good shit. Like, they traded with the Jags. They swapped 2nd and 5th overall picks. So the Browns had the 2nd. They gave it to the Jags, and the Jags gave up What did they? All right, so hold on. They gave up their second overall pick and their fourth and their sixth, but they got back the fifth overall pick, a second rounder, a fourth rounder, and a 2026 first rounder next year. And then they took Mason Graham, which obviously I got biases. I love him. Great selection, great trade, blah, 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 for the Browns. Then they blow it and they draft 2 quarterbacks, and they already have Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett on the roster. And then they decided to take Dylan Gabriel, who is way undersized. He's not going to be an NFL quarterback. And they took Shedeur Sanders. What the fucking fuck?
I feel like it's going to be a gladiator scenario. You're going to throw him into a room with a bunch of weapons, and the two that come out will be one starter, one backup, and that's how they're figuring it out. And then Schroeder Sanders will try to wrap his way out of it. And
and then Deshaun Watson will offer up everybody for massages. Who knows? I was shocked at that. I'm like, okay, it seemed like they were doing good things by this trade. They got a lot back. They're going to get another first round pick next year. Like, okay, great. They need all the help they can get, but then they just blow it. So,
all right, stud. I'm going to give it to Riley Green for his historic 9th inning last week. 2 home runs in the 9th inning.
That's crazy.
Never been done before.
Yeah.
So, hats off to you, Riley. You're stud.
Yep, stud. That was...
I feel like you just deserve... When you do something like that, you deserve the credit and should be called out for it. So,
absolutely.
Stud of the week to Riley Green. Good for him.
Let me ask you, when you found out that he was the first one to do that, were you surprised that he... that hasn't been done before? Were you surprised?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was too a little bit.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
But
pretty cool.
All right, who do you got for your stud?
Stud, I'm going to go Aaron Judge. He's just been putting up video game numbers. I know.
That's okay. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Yep. Hitting 400 on base, 491, slugging 750, 12 home runs. He's kind of come back to earth a little bit these last few games, but yeah, he's a stud.
He is stud.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge. Yeah.
Yankees not studs, but
no.
Stud.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I hate the Yankees, but like Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, 2 of my favorite players. So, Hey, like I said, you can't. They might be able to judge you based on what uniform you're wearing, but I can't judge you by the numbers you put up.
And they're important for the sport. Even if they're Yankees,
they are. Yes,
exactly.
So, that was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. I had a lot of fun. The sportsman. We got to do more memory stuff like that because I felt like we could have just kept going.
Yes,
if we weren't trying to stick to a show sheet here.
Yeah. We'll have to continue that one. If you guys liked it, give us some comments. Let us know your favorite moments, and we'll be anxious to hear. We enjoy the feedback for sure.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Go Detroit.